Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Well, I'm here a little earlier this morning than I usually am. In fact, it's just about 1:30. I'm usually here about 4 or 3, whatever. And I usually come feeling bad because I have to start off with some negative stuff. Feel pretty good this morning because I can start off with some positive stuff. I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, as spokesman and advocate for basic human rights for all people, that's the mission that I have been given and accepted by the spirit of life. And the purpose of it is for me to inform you about information that you need to know that you probably aren't getting from anyone else. And even though you might be, you still need this additional information about the love that this great power has provided for you that you obviously are not receiving. Well, that basically means that God has chosen me. I am one. And I love you. I didn't always love you. I put up with you, but I've been loving you a long time. And I say loving you because I'm obedient. I'm obedient to God. And for years and years and years, it's not nothing just new. For years and years and years, I've been listening to God. I've been doing what God has given me to do for you. I've traveled this country, ladies and gentlemen, over and over again for years. I've sought after political offices. I've at every level. I've ran for mayor. I ran for United States senator. I ran for governor. I ran for president, and not just one time. And every time I ran as I am. I'm a poor man. I'm a person without money. I didn't have millions of dollars, or thousands of dollars, or hundreds of dollars. I had enough money to maybe run off a few copies or try to get something printed in the newspaper. But other than that, the message that I bring is so dynamic. Really, if you were smart, you would have caught on to it and ran with it like they did for Trump, but they would have ran faster for this. But you didn't, so that says something about the people that I'm giving this message to. And it is really something that says that with all the people that got money, this message you never get. And the message that is a liberating message comes with the person that has no money and you reject all the time. Like I said, I've been doing this for years and years, and you haven't caught on to it yet. However, I keep coming because I'm obedient, persistent, and here I am again. This is what I want to tell you today, ladies and gentlemen. I want to talk about the government and the system. We have a democratic system of government, and that's okay. That's wonderful. It gives the people a chance to get involved. It gives the people a chance to participate in their government. It gives us a chance to know what each other is thinking, how what we're doing affects one another. That's good. But there's one thing that's very bad about this system, and that's capitalism. Democracy, you can say, is from God. Capitalism is from the pit of hell. Now, I know how many of you feel about capitalism, especially since that's the only thing you know. Many of you, most of you, if you are Americans from here, that's mostly all you know. And so you have found some way to be attached to it. You can't actually see yourself living and operating without capitalism because, again, that's all you know. But I ran across something today that really caught my mind. And it said that capitalism, well, we know what capitalism does. And then we're talking about the positive part. Now, we're not talking about the negative part. And so that's what was said when I read something. But what I read when they said about socialism, they said socialism was a system of government or economic situation that people, some producing wealth and other people don't participate in producing wealth. They just receive. So I'm wondering if socialism denies people the participation, in the system, then where are you getting some wealth from to share with anybody? Who's doing the work? Who is doing the work? See, you've been lied to. That ain't nothing but a bunch of propaganda to sell what's going on. Now, when I say capitalism from the pit of hell, I mean, you already know that, right? That's why you got multi-millionaires, billionaires, millionaires. That's why you see some people with mansions as a home. That's why you see people with rather than having a car or a couple of cars, they got a parking lot of some of the most expensive cars you can ever buy. They got big swimming pools all in their yard. They got a bank account with a gap in it so big it's a crying shame. And you got people within this country living in cold weather like now. Now in Minnesota, I think that, well, today was a little bit warmer. I think it was around 10. So, but people living in blue tents. You know, when I say blue tent, that means they are homeless. But that's the message that is real in this life. Now, where do I say that the lie is when it comes down to what they're saying about socialism? Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, and you listen to me when I tell you what socialism is. We don't have to listen to the liars. We don't have to listen to those that's crazy about capitalism, those who are super, super rich and ripping you off. Look, how do you feel? I guess 8 billion people on earth, and one man they consider as the richest man. Maybe they want to restrict him not all over the world, but one man. Or if it's not one man, think about a group of people put their wealth together and they are so rich it's absolutely pathetic and other people got nothing. Isn't that funny? I don't know what they call that system. You know, the Arab, or the people with all the oil, the people who Khashoggi and those was killed by them. Uh, I don't know what that's all about. But what I want you to know is the fairest system that you can ever have is socialism. Socialism is from the power that created this earth. Now, let me explain to you what socialism really is as far as the economics are concerned. So you don't have to worry about what these liars, these thieves are telling you. Socialism is God's way of taking care of all the people on earth, 8 billion of you, 9 billion of you, however many there are of you. It's God's way of making sure that your needs, every last one of you, your needs, your wants, and your desires are met. Capitalism can't do that. There's no way in the world that capitalism can do that, but socialism can. And how does it happen? Well, first of all, the power that is responsible for the earth and we here who require and need has provided all of the resources necessary to do all of the things that would accommodate and is needed and required to meet the needs of you, the people. And it is designed in such a way that you, the people, participate in the process of producing those resources, utilizing those resources and producing whatever you, the people, have determined is absolutely necessary to meet your needs, your wants, and your desires. Wow. I mean, you know, how does that happen? Each of you participate in it. Each of you in socialism. Listen to me again. In capitalism, you might not even have a job, or your job might pay minimum wage, or you had to get to live off tips. But in socialism, first of all, you must understand that you got a career, a job that you choose. You choose it. I didn't choose it for you. No one chooses it for you. No one says you will probably fit this job or you'll probably fit this job. No, you choose the job that you love. You choose the career that you love. And having done that, the master of the universe will bless you by giving something to you for choosing the job that you love that the world can't give you and the world can't take back. And what is that? That is joy. Oh, now people have all this money trying to buy joy. And sometimes they still, well, most of the times, can't have joy. They got all of the stuff, and still don't have enough. Still trying to rob. Look at all these billionaires that up there when Trump's inauguration came along, sitting on the front row. Billionaires sitting on the front row, thinking that they going to utilize their money power to buy Trump, purchase Trump, who has promised them that he can help them get more money by messing over we, the people. And they sitting on the front row. And what is the result of them sitting on the front row? The result of them sitting on the front row is now ICE is trying to get over most of these cities that have Democratic leadership. Democratic leadership. And what is that about? It's about Democrats standing up against the Republicans, because the Republicans are just acting like dogs, act like they care about nothing but themselves. And so the people in the streets, because capitalism is robbing them. They don't really know it like that. I don't think they out there saying capitalism got to go. They saying ICE got to go. But if you want ICE to go and things like ICE from denying them the ability to come back, you got to straighten the system up. Make sure that the jobs that were provided for you, you've chosen yours, that you got this joy. And ladies and gentlemen, with all of us working, we create enough of everything that we have determined is essential. Enough of everything. Food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, transportation, infrastructure, anything that's made by the hands of human beings. We have put ourselves in it, utilizing the free resources that came from the divine. And nobody has to suffer a lack of anything. Not only do you not have to suffer a lack of food, clothing, shelter, when you die, you don't have to worry about being buried. You don't have to worry about insurance. Not only that, you don't have to worry if you get sick. You got the best medical resources available to you. The doctors and medical people are not trying to treat you. They're trying to cure whatever you got. And when you focus on trying to cure, you will be able to cure. Just like when you get rid of capitalism and start engaging in socialism, that problem will be fixed. Because you won't have to suffer for anything like that. Not one dead blasted thing. And it will allow you to live in peace and be prosperous and free and joyous and happy, fulfilled and satisfied. And you know what else? You will be living your dream. Your dream. And you don't have to worry about what anybody else got, because you're satisfied with what you got. You don't have to worry about anybody trying to rip you off, because you are satisfied and they are satisfied. Now, they want to say socialism is a ripoff. Well, it might be for them because they're not practicing socialism. What they're actually doing is the same thing that capitalism does. Poor folk. Poor folk. Now, what about people who are suffering so much and robbed so much and abused and oppressed so much that if they got kids, they grab their kids and it's in the dark of night, try to slip away from the country, trying to take little money that they can scrape up and pay somebody to sneak them out of their country, to take them someplace else where they say there's a little taste of God over there, and we go over there, God might help us. But time, my friend, passes. And when you don't take care of your business when you got a chance to, the place that you're trying to run to thinking that you can find some help, they ain't just as bad as the people you run from. Ain't that something? So what I'm saying, when I see the people out there in the streets talking about get rid of ICE, I want to know, and you already know, but it has to be answered. When you're out there with your signs because you're protesting because you're being abused, not only by ICE, you're being abused, you're protesting for something else. And ICE is coming over there trying to stop you from protesting. But I want to know, when you're protesting, are the people that you're paying to lead you, your politicians, your governor, your mayors, your aldermen, your legislators at the state and federal level, your preachers, are they out there with a sign with you? Are they out there taking a chance getting sprayed with tear gas? Are they out there getting snatched out of their cars with glass breaking, snaps out the head or shot, going picked up and taken to some strange country? Are they out there putting themselves on the line with you for that? And if they aren't out there, why aren't they out there? Why aren't you requiring that they are out there? Because if they were out there, I guarantee you some thinking would start taking place. Some real thinking would start taking place. So I was very happy tonight. What I think what really got me motivated is that things are happening so bad today. And I was doing some cleaning, and I went back through my cleanup, and I ran through the 40 some years of commitment and dedication that I have given to the people that God has given me to share. And I've seen the places I've been. I've seen the work that I've done. I've seen going to jail. I've seen going to prison. I've seen walking around with nothing. Can't even get my teeth fixed because I'm broke. Can't even drive to the store because I got no car and nobody cares. Having to suffer like this, but what am I doing? I'm sitting here telling you what God has given me to tell you. Why? Because I know it's the absolute truth. And I would hate to die and you don't know it, because I can't trust that anybody will tell you this. And the reason that I can't trust it, because all my life I have heard nobody say it. I've heard people say, well, you should have better health care because other folks got better health care. You can have a better education system because other folks. But it's not just that. It's everything that you engage yourself in. God has made it so you can live on this earth like you are in heaven. And the devil running around here trying to tell you can't. Ain't that something? And you're listening. You're listening to them. But putting up that sign talking about get ICE, if your politicians aren't out there, you got to go get them. And not just get them for that, because now it's time to start thinking and acting on change. Change, my friends, the kind of change that I've got to just share with you, the kind of change that liberates you, the kind of change that allows you to smile, and you don't have to have your teeth running out. You don't have to get so old with wrinkles and stuff because you live in such a hard life. I'm trying to tell you, God loves you, but you hate God. Now, tomorrow is Sunday morning, and you're going to be talking about the Passover. I think we're getting close to the Passover. And I guarantee they're going to talk to you about some blood on the door. They're going to talk to you about the spirit going through the town, ripping off the firstborn boys and animals, firstborn, just wiping them out. As if you, who have no animals to slaughter, no house to put your blood on the door, but they're going to be talking to you about that as if it has some significance in your daily life, and it does not. And the reason that they won't be talking to you about the stuff that I'm sharing with you right now, which is absolutely essential, which will get ICE out of the way, which will get people like Donald Trump and Putin and Musk, is that his name? Musk, and all those guys, and give them a seat. I mean, we're not trying to punish those guys. They were brought up in a system just like we were. This is just how they responded to that system. They didn't respond like we, because everybody got their motivations and your reasons for doing the things the way you do it. And so they got the motivation that say, be the richest man on earth. If you have to lie, if you have to con, do it, because so you can be the richest man. If you got a gift that can be exploited by the system where they will pay you all kind of money, do it. Have you a big mansion, a big swimming pool, while people down the street don't have anything. And you think that you are somebody because you gave up some tax break for charity. Come on, people. Come on, people. Wake up. Wake up. And guess what? I'm a man from Mississippi. I grew up chopping cotton and picking cotton, picking blackberries, strawberries, and cucumbers. But I'm no better than you. I'm no better than you. And I'm not even angry with you right now. But I'm out here telling you the way of life. And I want the people who are suffering the most, you got to get up. You got to be the motivation. You the one got to start. Because the people who have robbed you already, they're not going to give anything away. But I can say this to you. You still are not alone. Because nature is fighting your case. The weather, the earthquakes, the floods, the tsunamis, everything that could possibly happen to the people. What was the last thing they had? What was this thing a few years ago? When everybody had to wear masks. I know what it is. I'm just trying to get you to think about what it was. Okay? Now you got it? All right. So all of this stuff is happening to the people because the people deserve it. Now, really, the truth of the matter is, what's happening to you, your hard times, your bad times, You deserve it. Why? Because you don't know the truth. You rejected the truth. Everything that I'm telling you right now, I've been telling you for 40 years. Ain't nothing new. When I ran for mayor, I told you the same message. When I ran for president, I told you the same message. When I ran for governor, I told you the same message. When I was just on the street preaching to you, I told you the same message. You know what? You ain't paid me one bit of attention. Why? First of all, I'm a black man. You can't listen to a black man, especially if he's poor. I mean, he ain't got no money. You ain't finna listen to him for nothing. And you say, well, I didn't hear it. And how are you going to hear it? Who's going to pick it up? Who's going to put it on television? Who's going to put it on the radio? Who's going to be printing about it? Who's going to be blogging about some guy who has no money and they're talking about you can be saved? Nobody. Why? Because they don't know anything about it. And to them, it's a joke. But it's the truth. And if you ever get liberated, if you ever get free, it will be because you decide to change your mind and you start walking like you had some sense. Now, I was laying there trying to go to sleep. I was having such a wonderful time thinking about what I'm telling you now. And I had said I wasn't going to say anything until tomorrow, but it's after 12 o'clock, so it is tomorrow. And I decided that I should get up and tell you right now what I'm telling you. And I hope you get the message. I hope you get the message. But if you don't get the message, I personally am willing to lose my life because watching and living in this hell is no fun to me. When I was blind, stupid, and ignorant, it was all right. Because the rest, I was just like everybody else, blind, stupid, and ignorant, trying to hustle, getting any way I can, getting over any way I can. But now that I've been touched, now that someone has said, Ed, I want to use you. I want to use you. And you do this. And I said, okay. And I'm out here. No. I'm not satisfied with that. I'm not satisfied with people out there having billions of dollars and my neighbor down the street can't get a car, can't get a ride. No, I'm not satisfied with that. I'd rather somebody come and knock me off this block. I don't want to be here living in no hell. Now, if you see, you've heard of hell as burning fire. You know how the story tell you. You're going to go to hell and this is going to be happening. Now, you don't want to go through that. And if you happen to be there in a situation like that, you're trying to get out. You don't even have to be in a situation like that. You can just be in the situation that the people are in Gaza. When they say Israel, whatever those people are, whatever those demons are, killing them, bombing them in Ukraine. When the Russian demons are bombing those people in Ukraine. What hell can be any worse than that? What hell can be any worse than you sitting in a building, sitting in a hospital, trying to go through whatever you're going through, whether it's resting or trying to be treated. And all of a sudden some bomb comes through there and blow the building apart, scatter your brains everywhere, scatter your legs everywhere. What other kind of hell do you need? But that's what's going on. So you don't have to wait talking about hell of the future. You're living in hell right now. And God loves you and wants you out of that hell. And he had to pick a poor man, a black boy from the cotton field of Mississippi who got enough love for God and you to sit up in the middle of the night, early in the morning, and say to you what I'm saying to you. I wish somebody had told me this when I was a kid. There was a couple of guys that came along. Guys like Dr. King and Malcolm X. They came along. I heard about Gandhi a little bit before my time, I think. But at the same time, I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, we're not looking for one person. I'm out here because I've been chosen to be out here. And I'm sure there are others someplace. I just haven't heard of them. But we can't be looking for some one person or two people or three people or one race of people to take care of God's business. Every last one of us got to be committed. We're the one that's going to benefit from it. Just like we're suffering from not having God's plan, we're going to have to work and engage ourselves in the process of creating God's plan. We must be, when we look at heaven, when we walk around and feel ourselves in heaven, we know our hands were on that. We know that God touched us and we were touchable. And the reward, the receipt, as Jasmine Crockett would say, we got receipts. The receipts are here saying yes, and we're smiling. And everybody got access to a swimming pool. Everybody got access to go to the moon if anybody's going. Everybody got access to live the life that's been denied us because we've been lied to, put in bondage by the devil. And we wouldn't listen to God. Well, here we are again, ladies and gentlemen. So what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Are you going to listen to what is being said? Are you going to ask God if this stuff is true? Are you going to check yourself and see where you are in a situation like this? And having done that, what you're going to do? Well, it's up to you. It's up to you. You see, I'm not afraid to die. I'm not afraid to die because I have lived and I know what living is like. And I know hell is not killing you, it's just robbing you of your life. And if you want to continue to live, you got to make sure that you're being fed the kind of stuff that feeds life. Well, I had a cup of coffee. I've been talking, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to talk too long because I don't want to bore you. You should be excited about everything I say, but I'm knowing you as I do. You might not be. So I'm going to kind of cut this thing short now because tomorrow I'm going to be engaged in some Sunday school lesson. And I'm not going to be talking about no blood on some dough on some Passover. I'm going to be talking about change. Woo! Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.